What's going on, everybody?
Weedletwineedle here, and we are back again with an Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be an overused tier battle against Angelique, a person I battled off my Discord. Now before we get into this Wi-Fi battle, if you guys are enjoying my daily Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle content and want to support my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, as it's the greatest way to show your support towards my channel, and it really helps out my channel's growth, and it's just much appreciated. Now, I'm packing a pretty threatening overused tier team. Weedletwineedle using tryhard Pokemon, disliked, unsubbed, flagged, and just stop being a Shofu wannabe. But yeah, I'm using Blacephalon because I actually got a shiny Blacephalon on Wonder Trade, and unlike certain people, when I get shinies on Wonder Trade, I don't really release them back into the void. I just, accept them, I take the freebie, and I move on. So turn 1, I lead off with my Hyrule Shield, my Bastiodon, as my opponent is up with Landorus-T form. It also doesn't help that shiny Blacephalon was the only shiny Ultra Beast I really wanted outside of Guzzlord, and since I have them both now, I still want a shiny hunt for Blacephalon, don't get me wrong, but since I don't even have Ultra Sun version, it's kind of like, I was kind of like trapped out of it. So I mean, I'll take the free shiny on Blacephalon, not gonna lie, because I can show off its beauty in this battle. So turn 1, I magical back the Stealth Rocks and Landorus-T form, and unless the Landorus-T form has defog, he has no hazard control to deal with that. But he does carry Excadrill, which Excadrill does learn Rapid Spin and can indeed remove the entry hazards from the battlefield. So gonna go for Toxic here, as Excadrill is gonna be able to soak that up, unfortunately. And I don't want to stay in here, even if I was at full health. Excadrill does carry Mold Breaker, which means that it ignores abilities such as Sturdy, and Earthquake will indeed one-shot me. So instead, I bring in my Rave, very aggressive play, because I was expecting Rapid Spin because my opponent has a Volcarona, and there's no way you run Volcarona unless you have hazard control of some sort, and I'm assuming since he didn't defog on the Bastiodon itself, he probably has Rapid Spin on Excadrill, and I got the play correctly. So here, we missed Fire Blast on Toxapex, not that it's really a big deal because it would have done 0 anyway, because we don't have much special attack investment. You'll see why in just a few moments, but I'm going to go for Calm Mind here because I am Calm Mind Blacephalon. I actually had to reset the EVs on the Blacephalon because my opponent, or the person that wanted to trade it, had a max special attack and max speed, but I had to re-EV train it because the way I wanted to use Blacephalon is a little bit different than what other people use it with, because I like being different, and I'm not a filthy casual, so I'm just joking. Casuals are not filthy, I just like using different sets. So we are weakness policy on Blacephalon. The reason why I'm running Tapu and Blacephalon is so Blacephalon takes reduced damage from Earthquake, and same with Empoleon, so we can activate weakness policy. And not only that, Blacephalon learns stored power, which is something I just found out today, so, or actually yesterday, because that'll happen yesterday. So I taught Blacephalon stored power with hard skills. We're gonna get a speed with Beast Boost as opposed to special attack like every other Blacephalon, because we have 20 special attack EVs in Tip of Nature, so we get a Beast Boost in speed. Very strange. My opponent was not expecting it. He was not reading the screen, and then she brings in her Scarf Excadrill thing and it'll outspeed me, but Beast Boost and speed, give me another Beast Boost and speed. So now we're at +3 special attack, +2 attack, +1 speed F, and +2 speed. So stored power is pretty powerful. My opponent is going to bring Greninja, and I'm pretty sure Fire Blast should be able to knock him out. I actually damage calc it, and it's a roll in my favor. I think it's like 96 to like 114% or something like that. So it's in my favor for sure. I'll have to damage calc it after the game just to be sure. The Water Shuriken does not hit me 5 times, which is a miracle. If it hit me 5 times, I would have cried. But, I spoke too soon. We missed the Fire Blast. And, of course, I just, my Rave, my epic Blacephalon sweep. I guess Pimnite will have to take the title this time around, unfortunately. But what can you do? I'm going to bring in my Tapu here and hope that he just goes for Water Shuriken again. I'm assuming that it is Choice Specs Greninja, because there's no reason to want Water Shuriken unless you are like Choice Specs or Life Orb, but since I don't see Life Orb, I'm just like, it's probably Choice Specs Ash Gren. So, Tapu Bulu is a pretty nice counter to Ash Gren unless it carries Ice Beam, so I'm not really afraid of it, and I know my opponent is likely going to switch out because there's no reason to stay in here against Tapu Bulu, so I know she's probably going to switch into her Landorus-T form or the Celesteela. And I was very close on doubling into Magnezone, but I didn't because I don't even have Magnet Pull. I'm just kind of like baiting that I do because, I mean, that's what Magnezone does. I actually don't have Magnet Pull, as you'll see, but I'm going to pull a Hard Switch for my Tapu Bulu and bring in my Rave, expecting her to bring in her freaking Celesteela or Landorus-T, because they both deal with Tapu Bulu very nicely, and I figured that this double switch is going to allow me to use Blacephalon for, the little I can. So I am going to go for Step Fire Blast here. We're actually able to connect this time around. What a miracle. And Fire Blast is going to, you know, do a lot to the Landorus Therian form, and now Landorus is going to knock me out with the Earthquake, but we got off a really good chunk on Landorus-T, and then there's Therian form being weakened is very, very nice just in general, because Landorus is just such a bulky piece of crap Pokemon that no one likes. But hey, we still face it every game. We still have to deal with it, so we gotta accept that Landorus Therian form is in every game. Now I'm gonna bring in my Bastiodon, my Hyrule Shield, and now I realized I thought that I would get Grassy Terrain and get back to full health so I can Metal Burst that guy, but then I quickly realized my mistake, and I'm like, I'm just gonna die from Earthquake, big mistake. So I bring in my Pyukumuku here, expecting Earthquake, obviously. If she wanted to go for a U-turn, that would have been fine, but yeah, she just goes for Earthquake because she's like, what are you doing? I'm just gonna kill you. And I'm like, wait, abort mission. So now she's gonna go for the U-turn with her Landorus Therian form, and Pyukumuku just stomachs it. And we actually are the Dark Z move. I actually ran 2 Z moves on this team on accident with Z Memento, because Z Memento is pretty cool. You can restore all of your Pokemon's health. And I could have probably done that with Blacephalon, honestly, but I wanted to save my other Z move just because, and I don't really need Z Memento at the moment, so I'm not really gonna plan on using it. Instead, I go for a Soak, expecting my Lander or the opponent to switch out. And the Celesteela wasn't really what I was expecting, but what can you do? And now here, I was expecting my opponent to switch out in fear of Magnezone, but she actually stays in and goes for Leech Seed. But either way, I was just going to click Toxic because it hits everything now that I've soaked the Celesteela. So I'm going to go for Toxic here, as Celesteela is not going to appreciate this Toxic very much. And yeah, Celesteela being poisoned is very good for me because Celesteela is just a fat piece of shit. He has freaking Celesteela Landorus Toxapex. Like, what an awful person. Like, come on now. Like, I want to have fun. You can't just bring these godly cores against me. Like, you're lucky I bring Jesus to every battle so I can deal with them. Otherwise, I'd be screwed. So, at the very least, Toxapex is dead, so he really doesn't have like the best defensive core at the moment, and we're able to soak Toxic the Landorus. So now she brings in her Volcarona as I go for her coverage to try to Toxic stall the Celesteela. Very aggressive play, but she also predicted me to bring in Magnezone that turn, which is fair enough. I can definitely understand why she made that play. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, I could just Toxic Volcarona, no big deal, but she ends up being Substitute Volcarona, and I'm like, oh crap. So, Sub-Quiver Dance Volcarona with Leech Seed is very threatening. I actually think I'm going to get Epic Swept here because Volcarona is very, very balanced. Especially with Z moves, it's actually super, super annoying. And my opponent gets a Quiver Dance up for free, and I'm like, okay, it's not really a big deal because I do have Memento on my Pyukumuku, so I should be able to go for Memento. But then, even like people like me make mistakes. I didn't realize Memento didn't go through Substitute, but like abilities like Intimidate do go through Substitute, so it's a little bit of a hole there, but what can you do? I kind of gave the Volcarona a free Quiver Dance, and now I'm going to bring in my Fappy Heath here as Death Fodders. My opponent just goes for Quiver Dance yet again, so I'm like, oh my gosh, my opponent is actually going to body bag me. She's actually going to body bag me. It's not fair. So I'm like, okay, maybe Empoleon can live a Fire Blast, maybe? But she actually decides to go for a Bug Buzz because she didn't want to miss Fire Blast, and she knew it would 2-hit KO me, but I mean, Fire Blast would have O-coded me, so a little bit of a mistake. But then again, after seeing me miss 2 Fire Blasts in a row, I can definitely understand why she was deterred from clicking Fire Blast, because if she missed and then she lost her Substitute, she would have been in a pretty bad position. But at the very least, she's able to just knock out my Empoleon, which otherwise would have been able to deal with this Volcarona. But since I am offensive Empoleon, I wasn't really a check to it anyways, but I was just baiting that I was a check to it because, you know, Empoleon is usually split up with like Defog, but not my set. Not my set at all. But now I'm going to bring my Bastiodon here onto the Fire Blast. I thought she would want to go for the Substitute, but I did kind of lie to her in Discord and say, well, I'm about to roar you out. So at the very least, I have Roar Bastiodon, but I don't actually have Roar Bastiodon. I just said that just so that she would let me poison it and not go for Substitute, because if she went for Substitute, I think it would have been game over. But now, at the very least, I have a chance because I can Toxic Stall the Volcarona, but it's still unlikely I'll really be able to do anything because Bug Buzz is going to annihilate my Bastiodon. And I could have Metal Bursted the Volcarona actually there and knocked him out, but I didn't think she would actually go for the attacking move there. But I mean, I don't really know. I thought I was going to get freaking smashed with Volcarona, but the poison gives me false hope. Since I'm going to bring in Pyukumuku here, I'm thinking since I'm unaware I should be able to tank an attack, but no. My opponent is going to go for the Z move with Volcarona. She was saving the Z move for my Pyukumuku because she knew I was unaware, I guess, which is pretty cool for her. And now she's gonna go for Savage Spin Out onto my poor Pyukumuku, and Pyukumuku's gonna get tossed in the air, slammed to the ground, and thrown, and then slashed, and poor Pyukumuku is gonna get obliterated. But you know, we toxic the Celesteela with Pyukumuku, so we really can't complain here. And at the very least, the Volcarona is slowly but surely being whittled down. Now, I was trying to figure out who I wanted to sack off. I have Tapu and Magnezone left, and I'm like, okay, Magnezone is how I'm gonna beat Celesteela and Landorus, so I'm like, I have to keep my freaking Magnezone alive. And then I realized something very quickly. I'm like, okay, Volcarona will die from poison this turn, not a big deal. And then I quickly realized something. I'm like, wait a minute, Grassy Terrain is going to make Volcarona live. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm so bad. So now I bring in Techno Poop and I'm like, alright, I lose to freaking Volcarona. Fire Blast going to obliterate me. Good game, man. Epic Volcarona sweep. But no, we do have these sturdy abilities, so we are able to live. And I don't have weakness policy, very surprising, I know. I actually have a Z-move instead. This is my other Z-move Pokemon, and it is a normal Z-move, so you might be slightly confused. Like, is it like Breakneck Blitz? No. It is Z Psych Up. Now, many of you guys may be scratching your head, but let me explain. Magnezone does get sturdy as its ability, and when you use Z Psych Up, you get all of your health back. So not only can you, like, reverse sweep people with Magnezone in case they have, like, Calm Mind Tapu Fini or Calm Mind Bincoon or something, you could just Z Psych Up when you're at 1 health and get all of your health back, too, so it's not completely useless. I mean, granted, Magnapole Magnezone is so much better, but you still have that bluff just by having Magnezone in your team, which is very, very amazing. My opponent was not expecting that. She thought she just had big swept me with Volcarona, but no. This was my plan all along, to just get the Volcarona to die from poison so I could bring in my Magnezone and Z-Psych Up. And now my opponent can't really do anything. She's going to bring in her Gren. She thought Lando can live +2 Flash Cannon, but that's just not happening. And Water Shuriken is not going to do any damage to me because we do have +2 in Spidef as well. And Magnezone has decent base defenses. And Thunderbolt's going to be able to electrocute this poor Greninja. And down goes the Greninja. And my opponent's last is Celesteela. But unfortunately, Celesteela doesn't quite do well against Magnezone. So, and plus it's poison, so it really just can't hope to do anything to me. Unfortunately for my opponent, I actually decided to reveal my last move. It's actually Hidden Power Fire. I wanted Hidden Power Ice for Landorus and like Zygarde and stuff, but Hidden Power Fire is just probably better anyways. I was breeding this from my Magnapole Magnezone anyway, so that's probably why I got Hidden Power Fire. But I wanted Hidden Power Ice just so I could hit Landos and stuff. But I mean, Hidden Power Fire also works against a face like Ferrothorn or something, and plus I can bluff I am Magnapole if I do have Hidden Power Fire, which is also helpful. So now the Celesteela unfortunately is going to get shocked to the face, and down goes my opponent Celesteela, and we're able to reverse sweep him because we were going to sweep him with Blacephalon, and then we missed, and then my opponent was going to sweep him with Volcarona, and then we reverse swept him with Magnezone, so we literally just kept turning the tides of the battle back and forth. And in my opinion, it was a very, very fun Wi-Fi battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this OE Wi-Fi battle. I got to showcase a lot of cool movesets. I did not really get to showcase Power Trip and Empoleon, but I think I swept with Power Trip and Empoleon in my first Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this Wi-Fi battle. If you guys did enjoy the Wi-Fi battle and wanted to support my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, as it's much appreciated. And yeah, the question of the day is going to be, which Pokemon in the overused tier do you despise facing the most? Let me know in the comments down below if you have any certain Pokemon or certain group of Pokemon you hate facing together. As I know I have a few Pokemon that definitely fit that list. Landorus Therianfirm you might think would be on that list, but honestly I don't mind facing Landorus-T because it just dies to Ice Beam, and since like ice coverage is very easy to come by, like I don't really see the big deal with Landorus-T. I think people overreact to it. I mean, I know its usage is actually through the roof and it's honestly insane, but it's not really that broken. I kind of hate like Celesteela and Celesteela and Toxapex used together. Speaking of the other spiky Pokemon, sorry, because that defensive core and with Landorus-T, I guess those three groups together are just super annoying because they cover each other's weaknesses very, very well, and it's just really hard to deal with them. Like if I didn't actually cheese that freaking Toxapex with the Blacephalon, I don't know what I would have done. I guess I ended up Magnezone, fair enough, but like. Yeah, it was really, like, if I did not get the stored power off on the Toxapex, they would have just slowly but surely whittled down my team, and it would have been very, very annoying to deal with. But I don't really enjoy Toxapex plus Celesteela plus Lando cores in general, or just defensive cores. I'm more of an offensive player, so whenever I see these, like, fat-ass wall cores, I'm just like, end me now. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below which OE Pokemon you despise facing in battle. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll chat to you guys next time. Bye!
That's what